Coach Steve Lanpher. I'm Mike Ventola, and with Coach, of course, coming to an end of a non-conference slate here before the women's basketball team is getting set and ready to go for conference slate in the ASUN. And Steve, first and foremost, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, Steve, you finished your non-conference slate with a 7-8 mark, and I know it's a lot just to kind of bring it all together, but if you had to think about your overall opinion of your non-conference slate, what did you think of it?
Overall, obviously we'd all want to be undefeated at this point, but I thought we made vast improvement this year. We continued to get better each and every game, and I think we're peaking at the right time. Defensively, we're doing some really good things. We're second in the conference in scoring field goal percentage and scoring defense, so that's kind of become our bread and butter. And I think offensively we're continuing to grow, and we've just got to continue to execute a little bit better. But overall, very happy with where we're at, and hopefully we can take some of that momentum of our 7 wins into conference play on Saturday.
And you look at momentum too, and it was pretty good finishing. I know you lost to Columbia, as the final game going into conference play, but you had some big wins too. You beat Howard. You got a chance to kind of recruit and get the rust off against Rutgers Newark after that victory over against Howard, and then you go to Chicago State after a quick turnaround, and you get a chance to get a 57-42 win over Chicago State. So winning 3 out of your last 4 games before going into that first conference game there in the ASUN, it's probably as good as anybody can think, especially when ending that part of the schedule.
Yeah, no question, Mike, because I thought that Howard game really was a statement game for us. I think we gained a lot of confidence from that. Alana Dudley and Tatiana Torres have really carried us offensively recently, and we're always going to have Leah Horton's always going to be a inside presence for us. But I thought our newcomers have kind of grown and experienced getting minutes and stuff, and we've been beat up a little bit and we're starting to get healthy, so overall we're very happy with it. And I thought it was a learning experience going out to Chicago State. We had travel plans that got delayed and stuff, and that's always been we used to play them in the Great West, and it's always been a place that's difficult to play. And I thought mentally we were just physically really tough and defended very well, and just kind of willed our way to win out there. And I think that's going to help us as we obviously enter Atlantic Sun play, against some really, really good teams.
And when you look at some of those non-conference wins, you had some pretty good ones, not only with Howard and Chicago State, but as well, you looked at, earlier in the season, you started off on the right foot getting that win over Wagner. And, you got an important win against LIU Brooklyn up in that Thanksgiving Day tournament up in Vermont. So when you kind of look up and down, and you mentioned about the injuries too. I mean, your team, you were at one point putting just 7 to 8 players out there on any given night. So, and I know you had some tough ones. You had a lead late against Fairleigh Dickinson, and then you look at, the game against Binghamton. But, despite a lot of those things thrown your way, I could see why you and your coaching staff had a lot to be proud of, in regards to how well this team played this year.
Yeah, no question, Mike. And I think we talked a lot, as a staff and as a program, when you're missing pieces, it allows other people to step up. And I thought, we had some freshmen that played valuable minutes early on, and because they're able to play those minutes, they've improved. And now, we got Maria Rubin back, we got Daniel Tunstall back, Amari Trueheart, who was setting out, because of transfer reasons, is now being able to play. So I think it's actually helped us in the long run, allowed people that maybe wouldn't have got as many minutes early on get minutes. So I think it's making us stronger as we enter Atlantic Sun play, and you need that depth. It's such a difficult conference, such an athletic conference that, we can't go into that, conference slate playing 7 players.
Now, you look at Alana Dudley, Tatiana Torres, they've been, pretty much your rocks this year. I know Leah Horton has battled for you this year, but you look at some of the other players too. I know Kelly's really starting to try to find her groove back. Jordan Ireland early on was really showing you some 3-point play, but I want to ask you about Tracy Brederin just a little bit, just because I know she had that big game against LIU Brooklyn. She played well against Columbia.
Very well.
And for a walk-on as well, too, kind of gets forgotten about. But you asked her to step up because of those injuries, and can she factor in to the conference slate?
Well, I think Mike, to answer your question, definitely. She's a player that works extremely hard, and any accolade she gets, she certainly is well-deserved and earned. But she's a player that's got a very high IQ basketball-wise, shoots the basketball very well, and wants to be good, and really makes adjustments. And I tell you, I've told her all along, walk on or scholarship, if she's going to help us be better, she's going to be on the floor. And You saw her against Columbia. She came off the bench and provided us some great spark and played really well. And she's not only scoring now, she's providing us some rebounding ability as well.
And as we get a chance to jump into a conference play, I know you get to face against USC Upstate, but as well too, you look at that conference. What is your goal when you take a look at conference play? When you look back at the upcoming season here, what's your goal?
Well, I think initially, entering in our second season, Atlantic Sun, we're looking for improvement. It's a very talented conference from top to bottom, and we're trying to not really put a ceiling on it, and we're going to try to just go from game to game and look to improve and compete. We feel like we can win, more games than not, and certainly improve on last year. And we go down to Upstate, which is a very talented squad and a place very difficult to play, but we feel like we can compete there. You've got Florida Gulf Coast and Jacksonville, kind of the perennial powerhouses along with Stetson. So we've got our hands full, but I like where we're at in terms of how hard we're working, how cohesive we're becoming as a team, and I think we're going to do some special things.
All right, Coach, thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Steve Lanpher. I'm Mike Ventola, and thanks for tuning in.